You know what sound that is, folks? You betcha it's another Noon Whistle. I'm Chris Trottier.
And I'm John Anzalone, and I'm so excited about today. You know why, Chris?
Because you're out of detention.
True. But in the office today is Mr. Huntley and Mr. Betrand, two middle school teachers who were with the district for a long time. I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to let them give their little resumes, but welcome you guys.
Well, it's great to be here.
Thanks
Thank
for taking time. And it didn't take too much when I called them. I got the kind of, what is this? And then after a little while, they're like,
all right,
so
good.
Thanks for playing with us.
Well, we team up well.
You do team up well. Yeah, you do team up well, and you always have. You always have. So maybe start off and, give us a little background. When did you start with Elkhorn? How many years were you here? I know I had you as a teacher, and you were impactful for me. Both of you were, and I know probably thousands of other kids. So stage is yours.
Oh, well, thanks. Well, I started my teaching career in Iowa in a high school. I taught there for 2 years. It was a horrible district, and I knew I'd stay right on. And
You said Iowa.
Iowa. And so there was an ad in the Des Moines Register for a job in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. So I had to look it up on the map, and they told me it was teaching 5th and 6th grade, going from high school to 5th and 6th grade. I said, no, I'm not interested. And David Ross, the superintendent, said, no, I think we were looking for an English major for a 5th and 6th grade team. Come on up and interview. So I did, and I was here for 32 years.
Wow.
Because it's a great district. And I always felt that. One of the things that made me think that was people in real estate always told me that when people moved into Walworth County, they were looking for the best school system, and houses in the Elkhorn School District were at a premium.
That's true.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I believe that still holds true. We hear that a lot as well. So because of your legacy, it's still going on that people are moving here. They ask about Elkhorn School District, but both of you guys helped make it a great place. And 32 years you were here.
32 years.
Did you teach 4th and 5th English, or did you always teach?
I taught 5th and 6th grade English the first 2 years I was here.
Okay.
And I went home with a headache every day because going from high school to that, it was like teaching in an anthill. And so then it was full-time 6th grade, then 7th grade, and finally I went with the attitude in 8th graders, which I loved. I loved 8th grade. And got my master's in counseling and guidance, and for 7 or 8 years, I think 8, I was half-time English and half-time
Okay.
Nice. I didn't realize that. All right. Mr. Betrand,
Well,
bring us in.
my story goes back to when I was in 8th grade. I had a teacher named Mr. Wayne Polinska up in Green Bay, where I was born and raised. And he was the most awesome teacher I had ever had. And I decided at that point, I want to be just like Wayne Polinska when I get to college and out. So that's what happened. I went to UW Green Bay, got my teaching degree, and graduated December 1972. And got an interview for a job here in Elkhorn in the summer of 1973.
So this was your first job?
This was my first job. And at the time, like Mr. Huntley, I did not know where Elkhorn, Wisconsin was. But I drove down here. At the time I got the notice that I was to be interviewed, I was at summer training in the Army Reserve. So I thought, oh no, what am I going to do here? I can't make this interview. So I gave Mr. Ross a phone call, who was the superintendent, and he says, yep, you can still come in for the interview, but we can't guarantee the job will still be open. I thought, oh, great. Well, I packed all my stuff up when I got home from Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and made it down here to Elkhorn, interviewed with Mr. Ross, and he said, well, we still have the job open, but I'd like you to go talk to the head of the English department in the middle school. So I said, well, I can do that.
It was you?
I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to be talking to some old guy now. Well, he is old now, but at the time he was just a young guy, and sat down in one of the classrooms over in the middle school and had a nice talk, and I got the job that day, and I taught in Elkhorn 7th grade English for 38 years.
And beyond, correct?
And beyond. After my retirement, I would go back and help out Mr. Grachik, who was a 7th grade science teacher. And I absolutely loved doing that because it was completely different from teaching English. And it was fun to get in on the experiments and do all of those kinds of things and work with Gary Grachik, who I was on the hiring team to hire. So I actually hired him, but I never saw him teach before because our schedules were totally different. So going in to help him was really great. I got to teach John Angelone's kids, which was fun. But the year before I retired, I had one of my students come up to me one day and she told me, "Mr. Betrand, you taught my grandma." So I thought, oh my goodness, okay, I guess it is time to retire. So, but I tell you what, I can count on one hand the number of days that I woke up in the morning thinking, oh, I really don't want to go to school today. I love the people I've worked for. I like the people I've worked with, and of course, all the kids. And what's the payoff right now is seeing former students being successful and having great things happen to them, and talking to them now as adults is just amazing. And because I still live in the area, I run into former students all the time. It's just so wonderful. And they tell me things that would happen in my class that I don't even remember doing. And I've had several kids tell me, I was an English teacher. I've had several kids tell me, well, they're adults now, but several of my former students, "Mr. Betrand, you turned me into a grammar Nazi." Because I was, the part of my curriculum was the grammar part and the writing part. The literature part was handled by another teacher.
Got it.
But
I think both of you
I
guys-
can't say enough about the Elkhorn system. It's wonderful.
Well, you got some people chiming in already from social media.
Well,
Mr. Hunt, look at this.
John Henderson, fellow Rotarian. You taught my brother-in-law, Don Wick. Okay, and then you got, here we go. There it is.
Heidi, I taught with Heidi, and I
Heidi,
also taught Heidi. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness
I think
gracious.
everybody would agree, though. One thing that stands out to me, other than you guys being great teachers and really engaging, was your energy. Like, you guys brought, I just remember when you walked into your classes, like, you guys brought the energy every single day, whether it was in the classroom, in the hallway, making jokes, whatever.
Making jokes, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing I remember is, and I'm sure other people do, and as well, but that was just amazing when you say you like coming to work. It was obvious.
Well, one of the things I call him Gene. I can't call him Mr. Huntley.
No,
it's
you
Gene. When we were teaching together, we had an intercom system just between our two rooms, and we would call each other and joke back and forth. And it was
a phone, right?
It was I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was an intercom. You'd push a button and you could talk to the
Really?
other guy. Yeah.
Interesting.
So we had a good
So
time.
what do you think made Elkhorn School District special back then? And the legacy, like, why do you feel that legacy has continued?
I think one of the things is it was like a family. It was smaller than it is now, so it was a little bit easier to have that family approach, but the principals were really good at making it seem like a family of people working together.
And I'll agree with what Gene just said. It was like a family. There was none of this, oh, I'm better than you are kind of thing. Not at all. We could go into the principal's office and talk to, his name was Frank. That was our first principal.
Grunseth, right?
Frank Grunseth.
I was terrified of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who wasn't
Well,
afraid
he
of the
looked
principal
severe.
back in
He
the
had
day?
a severe demeanor.
He did. He
Yeah.
had the, like, I'm serious. Like, you were just like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Well, we just had such a good time in school, out of school, and it was like a giant family.
Who were the office admin or secretaries, as they were called back then?
Oh,
I was trying to think.
wow.
I couldn't remember.
Pat Summers was one of
Was
them.
one, Jeannie Milbrath was one.
Okay.
Sue Scala for a long time. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she worked here. Yeah. And there were others. I don't want to leave anybody out, but there were others.
Sure. Well, that's a lot to remember as you're going back. But
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I think you guys were talking about this, and I remember I was a Wilmot student, and in that area, did they have a smoking lounge?
There was.
Remember that? I remember. I could see the guy running. And, they shut the lounge down, and he was traumatized by that. He'd run outside between classes.
In this building that we are sitting in,
Yeah.
they put a smoking lounge in the basement because a lot of the people didn't like smoking in the lounge, and so they made a separate area down there. And when that door opened, it was just blue.
oh, yeah. Is there anything that stands out for you along the way that you're like, this class really stands out, this year really stands out?
Favorite moment, like you just think about
funny
like
moment,
memorable moment that you look back and still to this day you would tell.
Well, some we can't tell, probably.
True.
Sure, that's true. Well, you can. I mean, it's just up to you.
Yeah, remember, we're live.
I just don't think you can name names. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I would say to that is, a lot of times I was asked the question, since I've been in education for 32 years, haven't kids changed? Are they getting harder to deal with? Are they different? Are they more obstreperous or whatever? And
what does that mean?
the last
Darn English teachers, right?
it means recalcitrant.
Okay. I'm checking out.
Yeah.
The last year that I taught, I had the most respectful, the best group of kids that I think that I've ever had. They had a great work ethic. And so
That's because I sent them to you. Because I taught them as seventh graders and you had them as eighth
well,
graders.
that's true.
So I'm going to pat myself on the
You
back.
trained them.
Yeah,
You did.
exactly.
Yeah.
But no, kids are kids. I think they grow up a little too fast now, but
They do.
other than that, there has, and the technology changes,
Sure.
of course, are something to deal with in the classroom now that we didn't have to deal with.
Sure.
Well, the payoff too for me was at the very beginning of the year, I tried to tell my kids, yep, I understand that some of you may not like English, some of you may not like me, but we're stuck with each other for 179, 180 days. We can do this and we can get it done. And yes, I'll be completely honest with you. I know there are some boring things with English that I have to teach, but we can get through this. And there was, the so-called troubled kids. I didn't have any trouble with them. It was just, we got along. And I just have so many good memories of people surviving my class and getting through it. And at the end of the year saying, you know what, Mr. Betrand, I like English now. So, I mean, that was a payoff right there. I like doing that.
Yeah, and I think that's what you guys brought. So question for you guys. We know that, I've mentioned, you guys being impactful to me along the way. I want you to think, and we're not going to name any names, but I want you to think in your head of 3 people in your life that were impactful to you, a mentor, someone you really looked up to. 3 people that along the way in your life.
You mean out of education or just
Anybody along the way as you were growing up, as you were becoming an adult, or maybe when you were an adult. Of those 3, would one of them be a parent or relative?
Yes.
Yes.
Would one of them be an educator or someone that worked in the school?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I always think that's a great question because we all come from education. And how important it is and the impact that educators have and how important that job is pretty amazing. Because you ask anybody that, it always seems like someone in education was one of those people that pushed them along, or was a mentor, or someone that was really impactful in their life. Yeah, so thank you guys for all that you've done and still do. I love running into you and talking to you and catching up.
And Derek Patke said he survived. That's what he said.
I remember Derek.
Yeah.
I remember Derek, and he's real big in 4-H right now. I mean,
Yeah.
big time.
The FFA, he's a rock star in
Right.
alumni FFA.
You guys should ask your former student John on his faux pas when he went up to interview Derek for the Noon Whistle. Remember the tractor comment?
It was an epic fail. I went to the farm. I was really excited. We got everything set up, and behind us was
Combine.
Well, it was a combine,
Uh-huh.
but I had called it a tractor.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. I quickly got corrected. That's not a tractor. It's a combine.
Yeah. So we had that.
And then I got kicked off the farm.
You
So I
did.
can't
You did.
return
Yep.
it.
Yeah, you're banned. You got banned. And then, and then John Henderson asked if you ever had Chris Henderson.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. So there you go, John.
And Chris's sister.
Sister. Too.
And the sister, John. There you go.
Your
There you
memories are amazing. Like,
Yeah.
That's amazing. When we were talking beforehand, you were listing off names and people. I'm like, holy smokes. That's incredible.
It is. It is.
What's a little difficult now, when we taught the kids, they were 11, 12, 13 years old. And now when you see them as adults, they change a little bit. I mean, and sometimes it's a little hard to recognize them. But as soon as they give a name, you remember me, Mr. Bertrand? I'm blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Well,
remember
especially
that
the
now.
boys, they can have facial hair, and
Yeah.
their voices are low.
Yeah.
And the girls usually don't have facial hair. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's true, though. I mean, yeah, they remember you as a person. Like, that was my teacher who taught all 30 of us at a time.
Yeah.
And,
Well, we all went through changes too. At one time, I had a full beard. And at one time, while I was teaching, my last few years of teaching, I was in a rock and roll band, and I had a
That's right.
frizzy haircut
Really?
like
That's
that.
right.
Oh,
Now that you-
really? Yeah.
Would you play?
I played keyboards.
There you go.
In fact, those are some really good memories too. But when I first started teaching, I had just gotten out of a band in Green Bay, and I had long hair and everything. And,
really?
we played the very first Summerfest. That'll date me. So yeah, those were good times too.
Yeah. Yeah, really good. That's great. That's great. Well, before we part, should we ask? John's changed a little bit. I'm sure you're talking about hair. You probably had hair back then.
I made sure I combed before we came in.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And how was John Anselm as a student?
Oh, boy.
Here we go. For all the loyal
Keep
listeners.
it short.
Keep it short. Huh?
He was a good kid. He was quiet. He was very quiet.
Figure that, huh?
And
I was too.
Nothing, excites my memory like I had to do anything like, John, stop it, get back to work. Never happened. Never
Good.
happened. He was a good student.
I think I remember Mr. Huntley a couple times just telling me, like, just sit down and get it together. Like, yep, okay.
Well, that's possible.
Well, we try and keep this right around 18 minutes, 19 minutes, and I'm guessing we probably could talk for hours.
Good.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you for your service to the Elkhorn School District,
Thank you.
to the community, and your impact on everyone's lives. And I'd be remiss, as we kind of called this our back to school special.
Oh.
You guys are a ambassador for the profession.
Yeah, you paved the way for
Yeah, I mean, that is,
where we are today.
as somebody who first time I met you, and just listening to you talk, we have our new teacher orientation coming up, and I can't think of a better video to talk about why Elkhorn and why the profession is so special. And if you give whatever you give to it, you're going to get back twofold.
That's true.
And that is clear with the two of you. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're
kind
welcome.
Appreciate you
words.
guys.
And John, anything you want to say to your former teachers, or
Thank you.
Keep it clean. Keep
it
Thank
clean.
you. All right. Thank you for answering my phone call, and thank you for saying yes.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. This was fun.
all right, good. Well, you're welcome back anytime. So you can come on back. You want to talk about anything? We have many repeat guests, and come on back, because this is just talking. Right?
Maybe we
Yeah,
get the
thank you.
band. We get the band back together.
We get-
There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll bring my keyboard.
There you go.
Sure.
All right. Well, on that note, let's get everybody back to work. So thank you, Tom and Gene. John, thanks for setting this up. Thank you for all the comments that came on, and everybody have a great week. And let's all get ready for the back to school and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.
That's it.